Well, hello everybody. Hello there. We are here to the Level Up Reset series, and this is webinar one of the next few series that are going to be coming out, all about how you can evolve and transform your letting agency and create very different results by just making some small few tweaks. Now, we decided to kick off the series by going live across various platforms. But if you want to watch the next 6 in the series, you need to register. Okay, so you need to register to watch the remaining 6 episodes of this series. And we wanted to kick this one off with a topic that, quite frankly, is being talked about by absolutely everybody, and that is AI. Now, I brought 2 people I know are absolutely obsessed with this and talk about it all the time. They're continuously developing something new. And so I wanted to bring to the stage here Gemma Warren and John, both from Agent Markets. Hello, John and Gemma. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Yep.
Now, for those of you watching, you've probably had a little tinker with AI. And one of the things I keep hearing, are you still on ChatGPT? But I think we're all probably still on ChatGPT. And I was actually in a room of techies yesterday with some of the finest brains in the marketing industry, and they all still use ChatGPT. But they also use various other modifications of AI. And there's so many extensions you can do now to make AI work for you in your business. Because let's be honest, AI is going to replace a lot of people's jobs. It's going to replace a lot of functions. And I learned yesterday you can even have a whole marketing campaign of handwritten letters sent out for you for $1 per letter, which is actually handwritten, but just not by a human hand, but with a real pen and a real piece of paper. So it knows no bounds. Soon we'll be having our dinner cooked, our dogs walked, even our kids looked after by robots. We're not there yet, but we're not far away. But for now, we're going to talk to Gemma and John about how we in letting agencies can actually use AI and can actually look at how we can use automation, software, systemization, and tech to really help us streamline. And when I say streamline, I mean cut staff costs, I mean improve service, I mean get things done faster and cheaper, and I actually mean be more efficient and even better than we have been before. And a second word I heard yesterday in my amazing room of techies was really AI is our second brain. And I thought that was a great terminology, actually. It's like having a brain upgrade, a second brain. I thought that was a really, really good description for it. So Gemma and John, thank you so much for being here with me today. And I've got some questions I want to ask you, because so many, I can remember, I don't know if you can remember, John won't remember this, but I can remember when Google first came out, and it was just like, nah, it'll never catch on. Internet, nah. People are always going to want brochures, aren't they? And then we had social media 15 years ago. Nah, it'll never catch on. I'm not going on Facebook. It's all photographs of food. I can remember that. People were not going to go anywhere near social media. And here we are now, AI. What's this ChatGPT thingy? And we're back again. So what have we been doing in AI? And really, is it just a buzzword, or is it actually something we need to take real umbrage by and actually really get involved in and get into bed with and start working on?
Oh, we absolutely, as agents, have to start adopting AI. If you're not using AI in your letting or estate agency at the moment, you are going to be left behind. It's not something that has just come up, here to stay the short while. It is here for, forever, really. As you've just said there, Sally, ChatGPT came up. We thought, is it going to stay? Is it not? It's here. It's being utilized day in, day out by a range of people. But there's so much more to AI than just ChatGPT. People are utilizing it for email marketing, for your social media, for scheduling all of those things. And not only that, by actually using AI to create those things as well. So I think if you're not using it, you're just going to get left behind, really. It is that second brain. Because if you don't know what to post, you've got AI there to help you. If you don't know how to post, AI is there to do it for you. So you're going to get left behind as an agent if you're not adopting those things. Would you add anything else to that, John?
Yeah, I mean, I really like this description of an AI as a second brain. right? I really resonate with that. And I've always referred to it as an extension of my brain. So I'm trying to leverage a tool, just like we have with tools in the past, to do something better than I had previously. And there's so much data at the moment showing that within property, within letting and estate agencies, only about 40% of the industry is using AI in their day to day. Whereas when we look at finance, we look at healthcare, we're in the 80, 85 to 90% of organizations who are leveraging AI on a daily basis. Now, that is going to change. Okay, so yeah, property might be a few years behind of the curve, but over the next couple of years, that's going to change very, very quickly. And if you're not getting on board, if you're not using these tools within your business, you are going to be the one that's left behind, as Gemma's already said. You know, there are going to be people pushing the curve ahead of you.
Well, one of the things that's scary, I mean, I was chatting to Dawn this morning, and she manages a few thousand properties around the country for various agents, and obviously that's the landlord and tenant world. One thing that's become very clear is tenants have found ChatGPT.
Yep.
So tenants have found ChatGPT, and they're coming through with some very intelligent emails, queries, questions. Landlords are coming through with very intelligent, email. If you as a letting agent are not using it, you are behind now your clients. So you really do need to embrace even just the basic level of it. But of course, this second brain, I call it like a brain upgrade, a plug-in. It just really allows you to be so much more better. And in a tenancy world, there's so many ways you can apply it. The front end marketing, in this systemization and operations. For example, there's a great piece of kit called Base 44 you can use, which where you can actually create forms and reports. So if you want your team to do an end of day check-in, how many actions they've done today, how many maintenances they've closed, how many things they've worked through, how many rents they've got in, whatever. You can ask all this information, and that'll put it into a document for you. So you have a whole dashboard spreadsheet. You can see what everyone in your tenancy management department is doing. You can use it to create financial spreadsheets, so you can create a whole forecast for the next 12 months. If we do X amount of deals, this amount of revenue, this amount of fallout, this amount of vacates, what's my portfolio going to look like in 12 months, and what's my revenue going to look like in 12 months? You can do forecasting on it. It's so intelligent. I know you guys are heavy into the marketing, so we're going to focus on that today. But from a business perspective, really you can just use it everywhere. I just had a LinkedIn reach out. Did you know AI can recruit people? I haven't even looked at what that's all about, but it's just like it's everywhere now, isn't it? It's just like everything that we do. So really, one of the things that you've mentioned before, and I know that you guys have really focused on, and it's so important when you're talking about people inquiring and looking for people to work with. I know I'm a bit of a midnight surfer. I don't know about you guys, but I'll wake up at stupid o'clock in the morning. I'm going through my phone, and I might click to buy something or inquire about something or whatever. I don't really expect an answer back straight away, but with AI, you really can get an answer back straight away. So just talk to me about that. How can we become 24/7 with AI as a business?
So there are so many tools now where we can deploy AI agents. Yeah, so kind of artificial intelligence versions of what we would traditionally have in customer service roles, who are incredibly skilled, incredibly knowledgeable, and can answer any question that you might have at any time of the day. Now, of course, if you're shopping for a new car or whatever it is you might be shopping for, they're going to answer those questions related to that specific product. But the same is true for anyone who is interested in potentially an online ad that you've run, a digital ad. So if you've offered a guide download, for example, if you're trying to get that lead booked straight into your calendar within the first 15 minutes while that lead is still hot, AI can fill that gap for you. Right. And there are so many versions of these AI agents in text models and also chatbots that we've seen. And they've been around for a little while. And when they first started out, I think people thought these are a little bit naff. You can kind of tell that they're AI, but the quality now of these digital agents, these AI agents, is just leaps and bounds ahead of what a lot of people think it actually is. And that's something we're seeing really across the industry. People still think, I'm not buying into that. It's still what it was a couple of years ago. We're not quite ready for it. Would you add anything to that, Gemma? Would you change anything there?
No, all I would just add to that, as John has just mentioned there, is it really has come a long way, because it's not a case now where you can tell that it is AI. And that's the beauty of AI, because it's always developing, it's always making itself better, it's always learning. It has developed in a way where people think it is a real person. Now, we have clients who run an AI chatbot off of their adverts online. So some of our letting agents are, trying to get more landlords to, pass over their properties for them to manage. So they're running adverts, the leads are coming in, and then their chatbot starts talking to the lead, sends them a message, and that is, as you mentioned, Sally, any time of the day. They have those conversations.
Now, wouldn't that be freaky? 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm playing on my phone, and Gemma replies back, "Yes, Gemma, of course, we can do 2 o'clock on Thursday." I'll be like, "Oh my God, this woman doesn't sleep."
That's right. That's right. And that's what it feels like. And as John said, it gets the lead while it's still hot, but it sounds so realistic that some of our clients say, the leads call up and say, "Hi, can I talk to Sarah?" And actually, Sarah was just the chatbot. It wasn't actually a real person. But that is how scary and how much AI has developed. And that's why we have to utilize it to our advantage. Because if people are happy and willing to have those conversations with those chatbots, then you need to utilize them.
It's amazing. I mean, people are using this to answer tenant inquiries, to information services. So, for example, you can populate all your information into an AI bot, and it can answer questions to your landlords, to your tenants, and maintenance queries. We're using AI pretty much for anything. It's just absolutely crazy what you can use it for. But I wanted to ask you about, what do you think is how the landscape's going to change in the next, particularly in the next couple of years, in the most immediate future? How's it? Because I think 10 years from now, we probably will have like an whole army of robots or something. I don't know. It's going to be very, very different to what it is now. But in the next couple of years, how do you think things are going to change? Can you see AI developing even more in letting agency space?
Absolutely. Not a lot of agents have adopted, the chat feature, the chat bot feature, so texting, but that's only going to develop further. When people are making phone calls into your agency, they're going to come to a point where they're going to be speaking to an AI voice agent. And again, outbound calls are going to be doing that as well. John, I'm going to let you take over here because you're definitely the pro with the voice side of things.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right, Gemma. We are seeing, if we're talking about chatbots and voice agents, we really are just scraping the surface. And if we look 2 years out from now, without going down a rabbit hole, because as you mentioned, I'm kind of deep in on this stuff every day. We're probably looking at the border of artificial general intelligence within the next couple of years, which means that pretty much any job role that you can imagine at the moment, you are likely to be able to automate with AI. Now, on the kind of the cusp of things at the moment is these AI voice agents that are sounding increasingly more realistic and more human. The fact that you can have an AI agent make a call out, again, 24 hours a day, but we don't have to. We can even instruct it to only operate within sensible and kind of sociable working hours. So you're not bothering people at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night when they're watching the telly on the sofa. And that bot, exactly the same as your chatbot, can be trained on this huge database, this knowledge base of who your business are, what you know, and what you offer as services. And then not just that, but be persuasive. So for these chatbots to be trained in a way that it could take months, sometimes years, to get a human to that level of quality, but it can be done in a matter of minutes or hours. It's really unfathomable how much we can achieve.
Do you think we'll ever have fully automated AI tenancy managers?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
100%.
thinking, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you think of all that knowledge and information education that tenancy managers have to have. It's quite an interesting thought that you could theoretically have AI tenancy managers, even if they were just doing like 50% of the work. It's quite interesting to see. But let's talk marketing, because I know this is your favorite subject and favorite topic. Talk to me about AI lead generation. How can we use AI to generate more leads? How can we use that? And what's working now?
So I mean, the whole journey of lead generation, from the very, very top right through to the conversion at the bottom, we can automate that with AI. So lots of people are already utilizing AI to help with their ad creatives, right? And cycling through more ad creatives, testing, doing A/B tests between different creatives. Same with copies. Feeding that copy back into a large language model that's trained on what you do, and then testing and saying, well, this one worked quite well, this didn't work so well. Can you please analyze the data for me, and then give me some informed suggestions about what we could possibly do next, right? So that's just the starting point at the very, very top. Then when we've got the actual generation of the lead, all of the contact process through either a voice agent calling out or a chatbot reaching out to the lead can be automated by AI. And then all of the nurture that follows up after that, we can do a follow-up sequence that lasts for as long as a year, even longer if we wanted to. Again, all handled by AI, getting them booked natively into calendars without a human ever getting involved, right up until the point that they actually need to speak to an expert, right? So that entire process from first seeing an advert on social media all the way through to landing into someone's diary can all be automated with AI. And it means then that you haven't got to have the huge numbers of staff that you used to have to do these things. You haven't got to have so much time, so many people calling out all the time or reaching out or typing out emails. All of that can be handled by AI agents, by automated tools. I mean, I'm excited about it. I'm sorry, I can kind of fall down a rabbit hole here and Gemma has to reel me in, but yeah, there's so many tools we can implement.
And we've had so many branches report some really great results with using AI lead conversion. This is the bit that excites me, having lead generation conversion tools. So talk to me about that, Jen. What sort of results are we getting?
Oh my goodness. The chatbot has huge successes at the moment. We've had clients report that they've had 60 investor and landlord calls booked in 1 month. That's without any human contact at all. So the lead has come into the database, and AI has taken over. In this instance, it was a chatbot that operates via text. And that chatbot has had 60 leads book in 1 month. Now, I mean, we're not getting those kinds of stats from human call setters being able to be booking in those number of calls.
Let me just translate that for letting agencies speak, because that's like 60 what, right? So, sometimes these guys speak tech,
You do, sorry.
In reality, how many landlords book appointments with you? How many landlords? And most letting agents will say 3 to 4 per month will book appointments with you. And you've probably heard me talk about the 82%, and we're all chasing the 18% of landlords that want fully managed services. But what Gemma's just said is using lead generation, which is funnel marketing, digital marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, to drive traffic to an offer, a product, a webinar, whatever it might be, adding AI lead conversion to that, as in it's an AI technology that sends text messages and has a whole language base it's been trained and put together and whatever, is generating 50 plus appointments in your diary with landlords per month. So I just wanted to make that clear, because 50 appointments of what? 50 landlords booking appointments to speak to you per month about lettings. Mm-hmm. Now, that is numbers I've not seen since the 90s. I can remember we used to put ads out going like, hundreds of properties waiting. People don't have hundreds of properties anymore because it's just not there. But I can really see how, this is very early days. It's literally in the last sort of 4 or 5 months, isn't it? But I can see how some agents that really focus on this can really get back some serious levels of instructions. And maybe they're not, can you rent my house out? Quite often they are, can you take over my portfolio? Or can you help me sell this property? Or I want to buy a property. So they're all a variety of different types of questions, depending on the marketing that you've sent people to. And you get that choice when you do this. But what's really sexy about this is previously somebody would inquire, send an email. Someone then got to pick up the phone to ring out, try and get hold of that person. And we all know landlords are generally evenings and weekends. You've got to try and get hold of them to then get them to book an appointment in the diary. Whereas this scenario, like Sarah, the bot, she can do it instantly. So 2 o'clock in the morning, Sally's scrolling, sends off an inquiry. 2 o'clock in the morning, Sally gets a bot going. Let's get you booked in. So it is, because it's so, and I think it's because they say with sales, it's speed to lead. It's how fast you can get to that inquiry. Because I don't know about you, Gemma and John, but if I'm searching something 2 o'clock in the morning, you talk to me tomorrow following down, I go, did I click on that thing? I don't remember that. What was that? What was I doing last night? It was so important last night. Now I can't even remember what it is. But it will immediately say, click this, let's book you in. and all of a sudden it's in your calendar, it's in my Outlook calendar, we're booked in. And I think that's one of the wins with it. And this is just text bot, but we know there's going to be a lot more coming through as well, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And, Sally, that's just on new leads coming in. So those new leads coming in through the adverts that's being put out. But AI can work on old data as well. Like we all know, don't we, that letting agents probably have tons of Excel spreadsheets and files from previous lets.
I don't think the bot can work on files.
Can't work
Not
on
yet.
files. Not yet. Not yet, but you get them on the computer, you get them into a CRM, and it can work through your old data as well. So again, I just have to share this with you. One of our clients is running a webinar. It was actually tonight, I think, and they had their chatbot messaging out to old data. Now, some of this is 2 years, 3 years old, potentially older. They have more than 30% of their webinar registrants that were registered by the chatbot.
That's amazing.
From that old data.
Old dead data, probably, a long time ago, past, and that's warming up your audience, isn't it? Because that's going to re-engage them. I guess they're going to be talking about renters' rights bill or whatever's hot topic at the moment, which probably is renters' rights bill right now. And that's old landlords or vendors or buyers or whatever it is that you've spoken to in the past that now are thinking like, I need to know about this, and they're going to get back in front of you, which is going to get them wanting to speak to you, which is phenomenal. John, I mean, can you see any more? Have you had any other successes? Any other examples where this has worked really well?
The outreach that we've been doing recently for clients in hitting old data has been phenomenal. So one of the big ones, and you kind of touched on renters' rights. We know that lots of people are saying this is a bad time, and then for others, it's kind of like second gold rush, right? We have a great opportunity for investment in certain places. So lots of our clients are saying we want to hit our old database. Is anyone actually interested in investing in property right now? And they're reactivating leads that they've never had conversations with that are interested in one client has identified a lead that's interested in investing £1 million in property in his area.
Wow.
Right. And that's someone he's never spoken to before. And that appointment has been queued up by a bot. We have other clients who are mining old investor data saying, are you looking to grow your portfolio at all? And they've had somewhere in the region of 10% of the leads they've reached out to come back and say, yeah, I'll book an appointment. And we're talking somewhere in the region of 15 to 20 calls off the back of an outreach a program where the bot is just asking simple questions, striking up a conversation just as a normal human would. But they're not going to have to go and take a tea break. They're not going to go and take 5 minutes to run to the toilet or pop outside for a
They're
vape.
not going to moan about picking the phone up.
Exactly. There's no complaints. They just hammer at the data, and then they have those productive conversations. They're not disheartened when someone tells them to go away. They just hammer through and they get those appointments in the diary, and it's producing real business.
I think just to add on to that, I think that's just the beauty of AI, really. If you see some databases of like 100, 200, 300, 5,000, 8,000, 10,000, lots of personal details. If you give that to one of the staff members in your office and say you're going to have to work through calling all of those leads or contacting all of those leads, they're going to look at that and go, oh,
massive overwhelm.
Exactly.
Probably leave, resign.
That's it. Whereas again, the beauty of AI, they just knock through them all.
What would AI cost? I mean, does this cost thousands of pounds to run, or because I'm obviously hourly rate employee now? What is it, £15 an hour or something? Minimum wage. What does an AI bot cost you?
We're talking fractional. Absolutely fractional. If you're talking message costs, it's the same as sending a text message. If you remember kind of in the 90s when we all used to have the little kind of candy bar phones and you had the segments, a maximum of 180 characters per message you could send out, or was it 120? I can't quite remember. And it was a few pence per message. So we're looking at about 2 pence per message that gets sent out. But the bot itself, I mean, again, it's fractional. If you calculate the fact that they're working 24 hours a day, we are talking pence per hour.
Cheaper than a VA then.
Oh, by far. And a VA, even a VA on a VA wage, which, if we pay a decent wage to them, they can only run one campaign at a time. AI can run multiple campaigns simultaneously. They can send thousands of text messages at a time if they want to, or make tens of calls at a time. So there's no limitations really, and as the more you do with them, the more bang you're getting for your buck.
Well, I'm just thinking about all those, one of the things that you talk about in letting agency and estate agency, but mainly letting agency from my perspective is, how many landlords have got other properties that we don't know about? And you keep hearing about this. Oh, I was just chatting to so-and-so, and did you know he's got the 14 properties? No, didn't know that. I'm just wondering how many could be dug out of the database using AI to extract those additional properties. I bet they're out there, aren't they? And
They're
that
definitely.
old database really could be a little gold mine.
And I think that's just it. I mean, a chatbot running at 7p an hour, it makes sense just to get it stuck in on that old data and, warming up leads that are coming in, keeping them hot, pushing them to, booking appointments for you at that such lower cost.
Mm.
It'd be crazy not to make use of it, really.
Yeah, and that speed to lead as well, really fascinating. I mean, one of the things that the traditional models got is, we've got usually letting agents have a lot of staff, and traditionally a lot of staff are, like my staff, I used to have 13 staff in the branch, and out of those 13 staff, I would say 11 or 10 of them were operations, so there were back end operations, tenancy managers, accounts teams, administrators, whatever, and 2 or 3 salespeople at the front. But really, you can see how this is going to really change the need for so many staff, or maybe even the type of staff, because it's going to fulfill a lot of the tenancy management function, maybe even a lot of the accounting function. It's going to fulfill a lot of the lead generation and conversion function at the front end. So it really is going to change our businesses, isn't it? I can just see how this is all going to change. And I hope what it's going to lead to is that we have much better quality staff paid more, because the lower level tasks, the tasks we don't want, like phoning 4,000 people, is going to be done via AI. And that's maybe a rose-tinted spectacle view. Would you agree with that, though? Do you think that's how it's going to go?
Oh, I would definitely say so. I mean, the whole idea of the dawn of AI and how we're implementing it within industry. And this is true if we go back to the Industrial Revolution. We created tools that might have displaced jobs, it might have displaced workers, and those workers upskilled and then focused on something where they could provide more value. So all we're doing is taking away something that could potentially be a menial task, as we've mentioned, messaging out or calling out to a large database, handling, some crunching of numbers, or producing a report that, someone could slave over for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and they weren't particularly interested in, when actually those individuals can then be deployed doing something that really does bring more value to the business. They could be building better client relationships. They can be having that personal connection with the managed clients that people generally crave, because they're not going to want a
Working
personal
on the
connection with a machine.
relationship, because I think clients want the relationship with a human, don't they? They want that personal connection, someone to ring, someone to listen, someone to talk to. But the admin, the techie bits, whatever, it could be done in the background, couldn't it? I find it really, really exciting. Now, I know you guys are going to be coming and speaking, or I think it's Steve actually going to be speaking at Agent Maker Live, and you guys are going to be there as well. And I know you've got something really exciting to share at Agent Maker Live. So are we able to share anything about what's coming?
Go on, John.
Oh yeah, we have a bit of a tease. So I mean, we touched on this a little bit, right? We know chatbots have been around for a little while, and there's a couple of voice agents that have been kind of kicking around the space, but we've long said they're just not there. Right? They're just not at the quality where they're deployable en masse, where they're believable. And there's been a few shortfallings, right? There's been a few shortfallings in the sense that the voices have been really mechanical, and they've been really stale and kind of, yeah, not very pleasant to speak to. And then
Not to our standards.
just not to our standards. And the voice delays, we've seen, and then the knowledge bases, again, they just haven't been where they need to be. So we've been working really, really hard in the background to produce something that I'm really excited about, like really, really excited about. It's been our little project for a little while. We've gone out and we've produced our own voice, from scratch, from the ground up. We haven't gone and picked something off a shelf. We have built it from scratch, and we've made sure that it is a premium quality. We spent hours building out and testing knowledge bases specific for letting and estate agents. And we've also spent time working on the large language model behind the scenes to make sure that it is able to answer questions quickly, efficiently, and able to divert any inquiries to a human who's able to answer them if it doesn't have the answer. So yeah, when it comes to AI Live, we've got something really exciting to unveil. And I think when people hear it, they're going to be blown away.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear this. So you're going to have a real live robot
A real live robot.
Human.
Yeah.
That's going to do our job for us, and you're going to show us how to do that at Agent America Live.
Exactly.
We are indeed. We are. It's not to be missed
Oh,
because
it's going to be so exciting.
it is exciting. I mean, we just can't stop talking about it here and doing it and telling people in the office about it and the tweaks and the changes. So you're going to get blown away.
Because I know when we did Agent Maker Live last year, we actually said this time next year we'll have this.
Yep.
And so I know you've been in the background specifically educating this platform to understand everything about lettings that it needs to know so that it really can do the job. And I know we're trialing it, and it's in various different places. It's very sexy. It's very exciting. So yeah, I can't wait to hear all about this. It's going to be amazing. So guys, if you don't know what it is, Agent Maker Live is going to be later this year. It's going to be in November, the 13th and 14th of November. It's 2 days, Thursday and Friday. We do it every year. It's our 7th year now. I can't believe it's 7 years. And we are going to be showcasing 2 letting agents everything you can do to add revenue to your business. So how to generate more leads, how to integrate AI, and John, Gemma and Steve here are going to be sharing all about that. They have Stan there as well. We're also going to be showcasing how to add more revenue, how to add more services, how to build the £1 million 6-staff letting agency business so that you only need to have 6 staff as opposed to 110. We're also going to talk about how you can use tech and automation, how to get those phone calls out of your office, how to reduce the noise, how to scale up the profit margin. We're going to be showing you 50% profitability model. We're going to be showing you so many things at Agent Maker Live this year. So really, letting agencies change. We've seen so many agents now double their revenue and half their staff. You heard that right. Now, I think with these 2 here, Gemma and Steve and John, was these 3, Gemma, Steve and John, Steve's not here, but Gemma and John and Steve, the 3 of them here, I think you're going to take it to the next level. So if we've already, through doing all the stuff that we've been doing, doubled revenue and half the staff, you could be even quartering the staff, which would be really interesting. And bear in mind, we're all facing down the barrel of renters' rights bill. So all letting agents now have got one hell of a game on their hands in the next 12 months to adapt and to apply that. Rent Smart Wales has already had their issues. Scotland's had their issues. We've now got it in England. So it's coming at the right time, I think, because we're going to have so much stuff. And I'm really looking to how you guys can help us really work with the Renters' Rights Bill as well and help us really streamline our workload. So yes, we're going to be talking about how you can double your revenue and half your staff, maybe even quarter your staff, and how you can automate and AI and tech everything in sight with these guys here. So it's going to be really, really exciting. So talk to me, paint me a picture. Talk about lead generation now, automated lead generation. What does that look like for anybody that's watching here that's actually not got that yet, not put that in play yet? What does that look like for a business now, for a letting agency business now? What do we do? Just run some ads? Just click boost button? Do we just do some social media thingy? Do we send some emails out? What do we do? Leaflets? What does it look like? I'm playing with you now.
Well, definitely not any of that, Sally. Be careful, because otherwise, whew.
Don't swear at me. Don't swear.
Yeah.
Children are watching.
I mean, ultimately, when you have, I'm going to go to the result at the end of it. So when you've got an automated lead generation machine, what will happen is you will turn up to the office and you'll just meet with landlords or investors that want to talk to you, because you'll have ads targeting the avatar that you want. So if you need more landlords on your books, those ads are going to be there, targeting those landlords, targeting their pains, getting them into your business through the services that they don't even know that they want. Investors, vendors, all of the same. They're then going to, once they've clicked on that ad, and guys, we're never going to click on a boost button, so just erase what Sally...
No boost buttons.
Sally,
erase from the memory. Sorry, I even brought it up.
Erase. Never boost. Always targeted ads, right? With that specific messaging to that specific avatar, they're going to land in your CRM. You build a machine by AI, by automations that is going to nurture those leads. Give them value, give them opportunities to book in with you. Use AI chatbots and voice agents to get them booked into your diary.
So we're talking about specific offers, services, products, solutions
Yes,
for specific landlords, vendors, buyers
that's right.
that you can turn up or turn down or off or on. So you
Oh,
need more investors. Great. You need more buyers. Great. You need more landlords. Great. You need more tenants. Unlikely, but great. So you have all these like levers that you can push or pull. You run ads, or you go to your old database. Either way, you don't necessarily have to spend money on ads. You can go through your existing database and mine your existing database. You use all these things to extract in these different client types, avatars as we call them, and with your specificity or specific offer and service. You're then using a system, CRM. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But you're also using AI tools to reach out to, chat with, connect with, and convert into appointments in your diary. Okay, that's when the human comes in, has a chat to them, and gets them on the books. Okay, so bit we've missed out in this is this CRM. So there's good CRMs, there's bad CRMs. Again, in my little team of techies yesterday, we're having a lot of chats about CRMs, as good ones as bad ones. And I know you've got a particularly awesome one called your Marketing Hub. What are we looking for in a CRM? Now, I'm just going to talk letting agency speak for a minute. We have the CRM that we run our business on. We all have, Repeat or Arthur or MRI or any of the different types of CRMs that are out there, like SME, etc. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is a prospecting tool. It's a big tool that anybody who's not a client yet goes on as a prospect, and then we nurture that prospect via emails, text, WhatsApps, AI, whatever. We nurture them through the process so that your listers can call, book appointments, get to know them, and turn them into clients, at which point they go on to your SME, Repeat, whatever it is, system that you use to run your business. So what are we looking for in a prospecting CRM for nurturing clients through to becoming prospects through to becoming clients? What are we looking for in that system?
Well, I think the first thing is the ability to have outbound and inbound communication with all of those prospects, right? We really, really need to have the ability to talk to all of the leads that we've generated. But beyond that, you've got so many things in this list. So integrations with other tools, being able to pull in your leads from wherever it is they are being generated and make sure that they are tagged appropriately and that they are sitting in the right places for you to work through. Having sales progression pipelines that you can look at on a day-to-day and work on between the team so that you can hand off that progression between whoever's working on those leads, and you haven't got to send an email handover or write it down on a post-it note and leave it on the desk. All of those notes are native and they are global. They are carried with the leads throughout that CRM. We need to be able to monitor the journey. Okay, we need to be able to see what interactions each of these prospects or leads is having with those outbound communications we're sending out to them. So are they opening our emails? Are they clicking on the links? And then based upon those actions, automating, so do all of this stuff automatically, where they end up within our sales progression pipelines, measuring their engagement, seeing how warm they are, and then helping those kind of final human stages so they're more streamlined. So we haven't got to put in loads and loads of hours of work. The tech is doing the work for us, and then we're just picking up the slack at the end.
Absolutely.
So it's like a system where it does everything for you, doesn't it? Whether it's it schedules your emails, it can reply to your emails, you can send out to people that haven't opened their emails, you can segment the audiences. You use the word tagging, but you can segment the audiences with investors, buyers, landlords, vendors, people wanting to sell, whatever. You can segment them as much as you want. You can set salespeople; they can have their own leads and pipeline. You can see the value in the pipeline. You can even have Calendly links in there, or the equivalent of Calendly links in there, so they can book in your calendar. It can sync with many different appointment calendars as well. So it's basically all of that, and the goal of it all is to nurture it through. And this one that you have is called Your Marketing Hub. Is that right?
That's it.
Your Marketing Hub. Yeah, it's a great system. It really is. But and what I like about it is most of the CRMs is you get the CRM and then you have to have the calendar over here, and then you have the diary over there, and then you have to have the funnel builder over there, and then you have to have the automation over there, and it's all with this one, it's all in. You can even run webinars from it, can't you? So everything's all in like one place. You can build your funnels, run your emails, do your calendar, everything in there. It's the whole thing in one place, which is absolutely awesome. And I think what surprises me, and whenever I go on these marketing conferences all over the world, it's all about database. People are paying millions now for databases, and yet letting agents don't have a prospect and CRM, and that's where you build your database. We built a database for our Wolverhampton branch of 10,000 landlords in a year. And it's just like, why would you not do that? Because you never run out of people to call. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm going to share in a minute a link which will be on here, which is for how to join the rest of our webinars so that you can get yourself booked on for the rest of our webinar series. Because I think this is really, really useful. And we've got so many topics that's going to be coming up. We've got topics such as how to optimize your business and how to and really just scale through additional services, additional products, adding revenue, adding profit. We're going to talk about how to streamline your staffing levels. We're going to talk about how to really scale and grow your business quickly through acquiring the competition without using any cash. We're going to be talking about softwares and techs that agents can use inside their businesses. We've even got some top legal experts like David Smith we're going to be talking to about the Renters' Rights Bill and some of the changes coming there. So we've got a really big agenda coming up for letting agents specifically. And so if you haven't already signed up to the remainder of the webinars, then please do. We'll be dropping some links around so that you can join the future webinars there, which will actually be great. So just before we finish, what do you think is next? What's coming next? We've had chat bots, we've had chat voices. What's next?
It's really hard to say. Okay, I think that's kind of the short of it. I think I mentioned earlier, we're kind of predicting this path to artificial general intelligence in the next couple of years. And I'm going to try not to dive down this rabbit hole too deep. But if we consider at the moment, we have these AI tools that are quite narrow in their fields. They're able to do certain tasks, but they're not experts at a human level. Now, what we're probably going to see in the next couple of years is agentic AI, artificial general intelligence coming to a point where they're going to be able to make their own decisions and you're going to be able to have more strategic conversations with them. So it might be actually, maybe you're undergoing an acquisition. And rather than just kind of punching a few numbers, you really want AI to carry out all of your due diligence for you. That's probably going to be a reality very, very soon. There's going to be periods in which, probably in the not too distant future, where elements of our kind of businesses that we don't even think can be automated, we will have automated solutions for. So it really is a case that the sky's the limit. But I think just get in at the ground floor. Yeah, make sure that you are using AI within your business, even if that's just for something simple like content generation or writing copy or asking simple questions or a chatbot. A chatbot is probably the best way for agents to be deploying AI in their businesses right now. Don't waste the time calling out or texting those leads. Get AI doing it for you. Save yourself time. Get those appointments in the diary.
What about you, Gemma?
So John is way more AI brained than I am, even though I do love to also dive down a
You say this, but I saw some videos you were making the other day and there was some interesting stuff going on there.
There are. I think people will have to show up less. And I don't mean that in a negative way. AI can replicate you. So, for us working with agents at the moment, some of our clients are camera shy. And we're already using AI avatars to make ads and make social media content. So I wonder how that can move on to the next step in the future, in a couple of years, where actually maybe Sally, you and I might turn up to the office as holograms and we lead the team in that way. I mean, we laugh, and John's laughing at me now here, but it is going to happen. We think about the metaverse and those kinds of things. It is going to move in that way because people won't have to be present as much. We're already, I can speak about 12 different languages now, and I did that overnight. So, I mean, the sky is the limit with this.
It's an interesting thought, because the other day I asked ChatGPT what the world was going to be like in 25 years' time. Ooh. And it was a fascinating question. I won't bore you with all the answers. We can probably guess most of them. But one of them reiterated a book I read recently. And the book basically said that, we in the next decade, lives will extend exponentially, and we will all be expecting to live to 120 years old. And I remember thinking, 120, well, just think about that. You know, do we have the pensions to live to 120? Well, that's one question. What are we going to look like at 120? And what is life going to be like at 120? And our poor kids have got to look after us. And it's just like, there's a whole lot of questions there. And it was saying, well, first of all, that two things we need to be, if you're an investor, invest in medical science, genetics, genetic modification, and plastic surgery.
Yeah.
But let's tie that together. If we're then going to be expected to live to 100, and we're going to have to do this when we're 100. Okay, plastic surgery can only take you so far, medical science. We're going to have to live through an avatar, aren't we, really, if you think about it? This won't be me or you, Gemma. It'll be our avatar. And then I'm going back to the film. We really are going to live through avatars, aren't we?
We will. I do think we will. I think, Sally, I'm not checking in 2 years.
No?
I'm going to be in the office and I'm going to hologram in, and that'll be it.
Well, ChatGPT was saying that, Sally, you won't even go on your scuba diving and horse riding and sailing holidays anymore. You'll all do it through a virtual reality. I'm thinking, oh my Lord, that's it. Life's not worth living anyway.
You can always still do your horse riding, Alex.
I know, yeah. It wouldn't be the same, would it, for a virtual reality? But it is quite scary where the world is going. And so really, we've just got to get in there, and we've got to do what we can in our businesses, haven't we, and implement. Because I think
embrace it.
The key is to try and learn, to understand, and to try something new. Because if you don't, there's 20 other businesses around you that will be. And very quickly, you'll find you've got twice as many staff as them. Everything takes twice as long. Mm-hmm. Using the mantra, we've always done it this way, you just can't have that anymore. We have to adapt. We have to evolve. We have to change. And that's what our Agent Rainmaker Live is about. The whole 2 days is about how to adapt for Renters' Rights Bill. It's about how to adapt using AI. It's about how to evolve your business to have twice the revenue and half the staff. It's about how to pay your staff more because they're better, stronger, more knowledgeable individuals. It's about how to really grow and scale and evolve your business. And we're using the dodo as our image for this year. Basically, if we don't evolve, I think we will find ourselves falling off a cliff, because the world is changing at such a pace. And it's great to see you guys, really helping us and supporting that, in helping us with the AI for lead generation, for lead conversion, for tech, for back-end optimization. It's absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much, Gemma and John. I can't wait to see what you're launching at Agent Rainmaker Live after literally a year of development and testing and growing and everything else. It's going to be very exciting. And I love the thought of having AI bots doing loads of things for us. So that's going to be really, really exciting. So thank you very much, guys. This has been Gemma and John from Agent Marketer, and we are going to be at Agent Rainmaker Live, and they will be showcasing everything you need to know about AI at Agent Rainmaker Live. So don't forget to go and get your tickets to 13th and 14th of November. So how can people reach out to you if they want to find you, John and Gemma?
You can find us on Instagram, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on TikTok. You can also find us at www.agent-marketer.com, and you can reach out to us on email, and we'll be happy to have a conversation about how you can supercharge your lead generation for your letting agency.
Alternatively, we'll see you at Agent Rainmaker Live. Thank you, guys. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for coming and joining us here today. If you keep an eye on the comments section in the social media from which you are watching this, you will actually get an invite to the next webinar. You'll see a link to join the next webinar. If you've joined this via registering, then you will get an email to the next episode anyway. So if you're watching this on social media, keep an eye open for the link to register for the next episodes of this webinar. And if you've joined on the link, then you will get an email to invite you to the next webinar. The next webinar will not be live all over Facebook, YouTube, etc. This is the only one that's going to be live across all platforms. The next one will only be for those that have registered on the link. So you will need to be registered to get the next load of webinars. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been amazing.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Thank you for having us.